Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. Wow, it's Tuesday and Bob Placet's Jay conveniently moved the TV right in front of Bob's sight.
Right, I have no idea. I can't see. Oh, I can't see Peter behind the booth.
No, because Jay moved the TV.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's
well, he'll move it
table
back.
On the hallway, Jay.
Wow!
Why don't you look around?
Wow! It is the day after yesterday, and that means that today is the last day of March, and we are here. Oh, good. Thank you. My partner is bringing over the spray.
I sprayed everything before I left the studio last night.
Oh, really?
You're all set.
Oh, all right. Okay.
You're
How
good.
about my hands? Can I use this on my hands?
I wouldn't use it on a living surface. No, it's
on
pretty,
a living
pretty,
surface.
It's pretty heavy duty stuff.
All right.
Who said he's living?
Who said I'm living? No. Hopefully I'm living. So we're here in the studio.
Jay doesn't know how to pan and tilt.
Yeah.
Let me go fix that.
No.
You talk to yourself.
Well, we're here in studio 120 over here at Vacation.
Here, have a wet wipe.
Oh, thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you. We were just saying that we are here at Westfield Technical Academy, WTA. You can see us on westfieldtv.org if you're so inclined. We're streaming there. We're also archived. So later in the day, you can have a good hour or two if you can't catch all of our show, or Ken's show after us, Ken Stomsky's, and or any of the other programming which Peter will tell us is happening throughout this terrible, terrible time of coronavirus. And
I want to know how he can move the camera that's on and I can't.
I don't know,
I'm just complaining.
We have
qualified broadcast technician.
Oh, look at well, he's in the union, you see. That's the problem. He's in the union.
First, I want to thank Pete Coles for working the other side of the other side of this mess here. Oh, watch out for the fiber, Peter.
There we are. Oh, gosh, yeah. Hey, tell everybody what's happening here in the studio. It looks so great.
Well, I had a camera shooting over that way, but somebody moved it. But on the other hand, I'm not a broadcast engineer, so what do I know?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm telling you, this looks like a studio now. You should see. Oh, if you're watching us on television, Peter is scanning over. We have one of your, what do you call that?
You got to back up more than that.
What do you call that thing? That scaffolding?
A truss.
A truss.
A truss.
Senior citizens call a truss.
Exactly right. Yeah,
I never really knew exactly what a truss was. Then that means you
don't need one, and that's a good thing.
Oh, all right.
Okay, we're good.
Does it hold something up or something? Just like this truss.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Is that what it is?
It holds things up.
Oh,
as we age, as things tend to fall.
I haven't heard the word truss referred to that way ever.
Yeah.
When I was young, I saw it and I really didn't. I still don't understand it, but I'm glad I'm not wearing a dress.
Well, the short version is we're turning the studio here into a virtual, to enable it to be a virtual studio, so people can come in, local bands, artists, musicians can come in and perform their craft.
Wow.
And we're trying to dress it up a little so give them the effect of a nice little concert in here.
So you're going to light it in a
Jay
professional
wanted a
way.
nightclub is what he wanted, and he was bored, so he came over here with all his stuff and just set stuff up.
I really love it.
Well, my wife won't let me play with the stuff at home, so I got to bring it out somewhere.
Gosh.
Yeah. So, and we were talking earlier before
Jay's
we went
playground.
on the air.
Yeah, you're going crazy at home?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 40 years, and even before that, my job was on the road driving, so for 40 years, I'm not used to staying in one place for more than a day or two at a time.
Oh, my God. You're like the king of the road, and here you're the king of your castle, and your castle is tough.
Yeah.
You now get the idea what it is like to be at the top of the world.
Used to think it was a big house. Not so much.
James and I have worked it out so that I seem to be in one room and he is in the other. Then we join one another in the hearth on the middle of our house to where the television set is, and we watch the TV there. But he is either in the bedroom or our office. Or I and usually I am in either the TV room, the kitchen, or the living room.
Well, I have my little makeshift office that I've always had upstairs. And since Marianne's been home a lot, she's made basically the kitchen is her office. So I'm working to make the front room her office. So that's my little hobby, latest little hobby is to set up another little office.
James, yesterday I was. So my life is reversed now, and now don't hold this against me. I think we talked about it before. But I stay up until like 12:30, and then I'm getting up 10 hours later, which is 10, sometimes 10:30. And people would say you're missing the best of the day. Well, I would
agree with that.
Yes, yeah. But what it's done is it's given me. I'm like a vampire at night. I mean, I'm like you know what I'm saying.
Bob the vampire.
Yeah, and I have my mid-afternoon slump about 7 o'clock at night. I've noticed that it's always around 7 o'clock, and then at 11 I'm wearing a go, and so I've got a book to read or whatever. Because of that, I was lying in bed. It was 10:30.
They make medication for that, Bob.
Right. I was lying in bed at 10:30 yesterday, and all of a sudden there's this big commotion, and I'm looking, and James is seemingly, it looked like he was moving our bathroom, and he was taking everything out of the I said, is there something wrong? The toilet? What the? No, he's decided to paint the bathroom.
At what time?
Yeah. This was 11 o'clock yesterday morning.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
When the sun was up.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Well, you can't do that in the middle of the night?
Well, he could do it in the middle of the night. I'd have to move to one of the other several hundred bedrooms we have in the mansion. No. So
the one that Kenny
where Kenny lives when he's
Kenny pointed out that I've still never been to.
Yeah. Speaking of them, I did notice that you had Kenny over. Yeah.
No, that's an old picture.
It's an old picture, but I'm dying to have you over. And Peter, by mistake yesterday, actually got in to the house
by mistake.
By mistake. Tell him what happened, Peter.
What are you talking? Oh,
well, yeah.
Oh, Bob mistakenly video called me.
He left the door unlocked.
No, he video called me.
I video called him when I was in the kitchen.
Yes.
Oh, you were virtually in the kitchen.
You were virtually. That's the first step.
That doesn't count, Bob.
Oh. All right.
Let me be clear. It does not count.
All right. Okay.
You've got to let everybody in on the joke.
Oh, Peter has never been to my house. I don't understand it. We've been together for a good 5.5 years or so. He has never, ever been to my... Where's the camera? He's never been to my house. He's been outside of my house. Have you ever been in my driveway? Have we ever tried? Have you ever been in the driveway?
No, I've never even made it that far, Bob.
No.
they let him look from across the street.
I wave at him. But we've got this rule that he can drive by at 20 miles an hour
and wave.
And I give him.
Yeah, the restraining order
give him the
states I
wave.
can only do the parade wave at 20.
That's right. Yeah. I'm going. No, but I don't know how it happened, but everybody else and their brother, including all those people that have come through the house on the house tours through the years, their strangers have been in my house,
But not Peter.
But not Peter.
No. Someday, Peter.
Peter,
there's
I ought to.
still
What
hope.
I ought to do
There's
is
still
I ought to cook you a good meal.
and put it on the front lawn.
Yeah. It will be a
Guys are
picnic.
lucky I'm a good sport.
No. It could be a picnic out in the backyard. You see, how about that? We'll start him in the.
You want to let him in the backyard?
We'll let him in the backyard. We'll let him in the backyard. Yeah. But so at any rate, all day yesterday, all day. How long does it take to? Our bathroom in the bedroom is 4 by 2 or 3. I don't know. No, it's 4
by 2? That ain't
4.
big.
It couldn't be big. 4 by 2. How would it be?
Most bedrooms are like 10 by 12.
No,
12 by
this
10.
is
That's
a
small
4, but
bedroom.
this is a tiny little thing. You see, we took the garage and we made it into a bedroom for my father before he passed away, and so in that bedroom, we it's sort of like a barn bathroom, and because this is part of the barn, the
Oh, is that
bedroom.
the one with the corner toilet?
Yes, we have a corner toilet in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Kenny's got the whole, the market on beautiful toilets. His $4,000 toilet. I've got a corner toilet, but it really saves on space. And I really believe it's been we have it in 2 bathrooms.
I haven't figured out how that saves space because far as I know, I could get one of those and put it in my bathroom, but my butt's still the same size. How does it save space?
We're not talking about your butt. We're talking about the room that the toilet sits in. If you put it in a corner, then you've got space on every. Like side. If you draw a square and you put the thing in the little corner of the square, you'll notice that you have much more room.
I do have to admit, a basic generic toilet is not space efficient.
I don't know why everybody doesn't get them, because they're the exact same price practically, and they might even be less.
Perhaps you should go out and sell them door to door. Just say it. You need a job, a hobby in retirement?
Oh, I could sell toilets door to door. Have you ever gone
toilets.
door to? Have you ever sold anything
I
door to
would
door?
never have had that desire in any part of my life. When I was a Boy Scout, they made me go door to door to sell fertilizer. That was the last time I went and sold anything door to door.
Pardon me, you were selling manure from door to door?
No, that's not what I said, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. Fertilizer. I
won't say I've never spread that from door to door,
Oh, yeah.
but that's
Oh,
a whole
no.
different issue.
That's true. Here's James. Here's Jay at the door with the same old. He's got the same old SH. There he's coming up the walkway. He's going to try and sell his fertilizer. You know what? I took a job with the U.S. Census one year. Believe it or not.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be kind of a lousy job.
And we would go door to door. I think this was early on. Oh my God! It's got to be while I was maybe in college or maybe earlier. But I remember going to some old crappy building in downtown and bringing in the things that we had done for the day, and you'd go door to door for that. I also went door to door with a. How do we say it?
Was it a hat with candles on
a
it?
fez?
It was a hat that
fez.
said Texaco, and we were going door to door and selling Texaco products.
That's because you can trust the man with the star.
You can
can
trust the
trust
man.
your car with the man. Oh, well, whatever.
Oh
that
God!
would-
Walking up to
Tell you
those
wh-
houses, I don't know what I think that's why we ought to thank we at this time in our lives right now, we have to thank everybody that's going to work. Everybody that's going to work.
Yeah, pretty much anybody on the road today has to be there, is providing a service, and certainly thanks to our healthcare workers. It's become a dangerous job. It always was a challenging job.
It always is a dangerous job. If
But
you ask
doesn't-
Akinyele Lovelace, it's always when they had the swine flu going around.
Yeah.
He said he got it twice.
No, is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
my,
part of their job.
Oh.
And my son's girlfriend just moved up from Virginia. She just graduated. She just finished her grad school for nurse practitioner. And, I mean, she's got a job waiting for her wherever she goes, wherever she wants.
Oh, of course she does.
So they're living out near Boston. And, I mean, their head is spinning. They don't know what to do next. His job he can do from home. A lot of people can work from home, but a lot of people can't. And even in my business with Xerox, we have obviously the service side, which I'm part of. Right. We're in the field. My guys are in the field.
Is that considered an essential business?
It is, because if you think about it, especially in eastern Massachusetts, we have a lot of medical facilities that we have gear in. Not only the medical facilities, but companies that provide medical products, healthcare products.
Oh,
so Massachusetts is a hotbed for that technology that supports the healthcare industry. We have gear
one of
in
the
all
biggest
of those places.
We're one of the biggest states that produces medical lasers and things like that. So
right. So we've been quite busy.
So so that you're going out. You're not going to homes. You're You're going to.
We're going to businesses that need to stay open, and it's a basic rule of thumb. You first use common sense,
right.
But second, call ahead. Talk to the customer.
Right.
Is there any danger in my coming there? And everybody. What I love is everyone is working together.
It would seem that they would be carrying their wipes with them wherever they are.
Yeah, but there's a shortage of that, Bob.
Well,
that's what you got to understand. There's a shortage of all that stuff.
There's a shortage of everything.
Yeah.
The biggest thing you can do, and we talked about this. The biggest thing we preach to our people who are working on the gear: wash your hands. And this has been talked about. You can have wet wipes. You can have antibacterial things.
Sure.
Antibacterial things don't kill viruses. They kill bacteria.
Oh,
so now and the caveat here is I'm not a doctor, but
that's true.
Go online and take a look at why should I wash my hands? Why does that make a difference with this particular virus? And the simplest way to describe it is the virus is everybody's seen a little picture, a little round thing with spiky things sticking out. Mm-hmm. Well, those spiky things are stuck to a layer of fat around the virus, right? So that fat is what soap breaks down. So when you wash your hands, you're breaking down the fat that basically eliminates the ability of that virus to stick to anything.
Interesting.
End of story. Wash it down the drain.
Look,
so that's the simple the layman's.
The only thing I suggest is make sure you have like hand cream with you if you're going to wash your hands a lot, because your hands do dry out.
They will dry.
Mine dry out. Like,
oh my God!
I brought some with me down to the studio because it's getting pretty bad.
Yeah, and that's actually very true, because when I was in the field as a tech, I'd be washing my hands a lot. You get toner on them and grease and things like that. And I wasn't one to wear gloves back then, and my hands would literally dry and crack, because one of the chemicals I used was an alcohol cleaning solvent, and that doesn't help when you get that in your hands.
And the cracking is not good for catching anything. I mean, you don't want anything to enter into that barrier of your skin.
A virus it's unusual for a virus to enter good skin.
Yeah,
it can't get through good skin. Yeah. But if you got an opening in that skin, or around your face, there's a lot of openings.
Welcome, come on in. Yeah, no. I was saying that to the virus.
I thought somebody was here. I was like, what the hell? I didn't hear anybody come in.
Saying, welcome, come on into my.
Bob just set up the security breach alarm in my back of my neck. I was like, what the hell? I didn't see any custodians come down the driveway. I got a clear line of sight.
We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, what are we going to talk about, Bob?
We can talk about. I got
anything we want.
Anything we want.
Between
but I got
you and me,
stuff.
we've got some stuff.
Oh, we do have stuff. We've always had stuff. You're not still. I'd like to take I'd like 2 bags of fertilizer, please. You're still selling that stuff? At any rate, here's
Bob. It's free.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
You can go to a guy who knows a guy. We got the Nat King Cole with it's Nat King Cole and the great British jazz pianist, the blind great George Shearing, Sir George Shearing, and this is. I thought it was appropriate for this time of year, at this time of time. Pick yourself up.
Pick yourself up. Take a deep breath. Dust yourself off and start all over again. Nothing's impossible, I have found, for when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, and start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip. Be grateful for a pleasant trip and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is won. You may be sick and tired, but you'll be a man, my son. Will you remember the famous men who had to fall to rise again? So take a deep breath, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is won. You may be sick and tired, but you'll be a man, my son. Will you remember the famous men who had to fall to rise again? So take a deep breath, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes and Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldState.bncollege.com.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is March 31st, the last day of March.
We're talking about theaters, and of course, we do our little concert series at 28 Court Street.
Sure.
And we do expect that to be back in the fall.
Oh, great! Yeah, tell everybody. So that's Gaslight Entertainment's
WestfieldConcerts.com.
Yeah.
And we did have to cancel our April and May shows, and we're sorry about that. We certainly are sorry that we can't do music.
Jay, you got a reminder to you to cancel the Facebook events because they're still showing up.
Okay. Thank you. I will do that. But what we're going to do is, look, if you want to be fun, we'll take care of you. Just let us know. And there's a link on the webpage to do that. Otherwise, hold on to your tickets, and we'll fix you up for next year. We're trying to rebook these shows right now. The artists want to rebook. They're itching as much as we are. So
it's an interesting thing because we were. I had a phone conversation last night about planning events in the future and how our world might be changed in ways that we don't know. And the idea that perhaps, the month of April is this time for the peak or whatever Mr. Trump is calling it, whatever it is.
Even the Washington, and I'm going to get political now.
Oh, God, here we
go. The
go.
Washington Post hates Trump, right?
Yeah.
They came out in an opinion article in support of him today.
Really?
Yes.
And what did they say?
They said his response would have been a lot better. He would not have been as timid as his response if there weren't for the impeachment proceedings going on. They said that really screwed up things because the only thing that he did during that time was block travel from China to the United States.
So now you're trying to blame the people that were trying to...
I'm not trying to blame anybody. They're just pointing it out, and it's a very well-reasoned argument.
I can look at it.
I will send it to you.
But it doesn't do anything for his statements and his yelling at the press for asking.
Well, he's an idiot,
facts.
Bob. We've already established that fact.
Hey,
he is not. He is not
good.
Did
you hear that?
He is not good at a podium. Neither is Pence. They should walk up there, give their prepared statement, and let the experts do their job.
Oh, gosh,
but
yes.
Beyond that,
he's
listening to them.
They're really great people. They're wonderful.
They're
Signed
incredible.
the papers today.
We'll have to
awesome.
wait and see.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, okay, fine.
It's awesome.
Awesome. And I've done a good job. And remember that I sent I blockaded
But he is listening.
China.
And I'm sending.
But he's listening.
If he had his way, we would have opened up mid-April.
We would be open next week
because he's worried about the economy, and that's his forte. That really is his forte.
Well, he bankrupts three.
Here's what
things.
needs.
Bob, it's his forte.
Okay, got it.
Here's what's going to change.
Expertise.
Yeah.
And in my industry is certainly a big part of this.
What is it?
We still have a lot of office space that is used because people are used to just going in and going to work because that's what I've done for most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So many people have discovered I can be just as effective from my living room. I can work from home.
Yeah, but they also have to be disciplined too. It's okay to be that you're stuck there now, but I've read articles because I thought about this about working from home and be a consultant. Is you have to be disciplined about it. You can't just be in your pajamas all day. It won't sustain itself if you can't.
You have to be on a schedule, sort of.
Well, you do,
but you do that.
It's just like
Jay does it very well, but
he does it.
disciplined.
He's not at home. He's wherever everywhere. He is doing it.
But I can do what I do from anywhere.
Yes.
But I started at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So now if I need to take a couple of hours, like for this show, if I need to take 2 or 3 hours to go out, do something that's outside of my business,
right.
I have the time to do it because I'm going back in. As soon as I'm done here, I've already got 4 or 5 hours of phone calls and projects that I've got to work on. So that's
and you're
okay.
And then that's called a flexible schedule. We
Yes.
used to have that.
Flex schedule, right.
Flex schedule at the university where we were given projects, and those projects had to be done, and they had to be done in a timely fashion. Of course,
But I didn't care whether you did it at 1 a.m. or noon.
Yeah, exactly right. And maybe that's a thing that will help to shape industry and or business after this is all over.
I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see more people learning to work from home, to pace themselves, to budget their time accordingly. On the other hand, we see a lot of it now on conference calls. I'm sitting there with my people have their cameras on because they want to see each other. It's a nice kind of a cool interaction. But the cat walking across the keyboard is still funny. It really is.
Oh my gosh! Or Jimmy Fallon's kids climbing all over him.
Exactly.
It's very funny.
Now it's funny now, but at some point that humor is going to wear off. Come on, we got to get back to business.
Yeah. What's that commercial that we love? It's an Asian man, and I only say that so you remember the commercial. He's talking to a group of business associates on Skype. And the kids, his 2 kids, are behind him, and they're touching his nose and everything.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is they're running out of the room with the fire extinguisher. Oh, and it's saying like, "Who's that strange man?" And that's the guy's boss. It's one of my favorite. And those children are so adorable. I just love that. But hey, it is 6:30 in the morning. It's a very dark. It's nice when it's sunny out in a way.
Dark and stormy night.
Oh God! And I heard it's going to. Is it going to rain today? Sort of.
It's just
I think it's supposed to. Like by midday, it's supposed to get better, but it's going to be gray.
yeah. You might see even some snow flurries up in the hills.
Yeah.
But,
It's
just been dreary, dark, and ick.
Oh my God! At home, James only lights when on a dreary day like today. Do you light all the rooms in your house?
No.
You don't. See,
Waste of electricity.
Oh, I know. But I just feel that it makes it feel a little bit warmer for me to be able to walk into a room and have it glowing.
It's supposed to be partly cloudy
Make
today,
a fire.
Bob.
Partly
Very little
cloud.
chance of rain at all. We've had our chances on the overnight.
Yeah,
Okay.
make a fire.
Make a fire.
This is my favorite thing that I've seen on TV
Yeah.
because everybody's in their living room. All our television hosts are in their living room,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So one of them is sitting in front of the fireplace. And so the people in the studio are saying, "Hey, why don't you turn that fire on? Or why don't you make a fire to give us some ambiance here, right?" So 10 minutes later, she comes back for her next segment. She goes, "I don't know how to turn it on. I've lived here for 3 years, and I don't know how to turn on the fire." So that's city folk.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Hairdo fail.
Hey, Peter, do we have that ability to do that kind of Skype
To
thing,
make a
or-
fire in the studio?
Yeah. Do we have that capability?
I don't have about 30 or 40 grand lying around, Bob.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, you told me it was 50.
Oh,
What-
50
you
grand.
trying-
Yeah, if I bought a few of them, I'd get a discount.
Oh. So
That's big money for those. They're called bricklings. Yeah, they're big money. You have to buy them by the pair, and they're about 10,000 a pair.
and
what's
what
that-
are they?
that
Really?
enables-
When you say
They're point-to-point video transmission system.
Yeah, but it makes it enables the capability to do real time, so there's not like a second or two latency.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's very low latency, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I could do something similar through Wirecast, but
Or how about through Zoom? If we were all on if
that's
we,
just a pain. It's
too much.
we're trying to figure out how to integrate that for meetings, and we've gone with a straight conference call for city meetings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can do it, but then you're completely relying upon somebody else. If they shut off their service, plus it's a pay service, you have to pay for it.
Sure.
If they shut off their service, what do you do then?
Oh, you're right. Oh, there
If
we
their
are.
service gets taxed or overloaded, what do you do?
Yeah.
I was actually on a small business call yesterday where Senator Markey and a couple of other senators were supposed to be on. And we're talking about this small business.
Did you do that? Because
Yeah.
the Chamber of Commerce is stepping up and for small businesses.
Right.
And you get these conferences with
Correct. So I
with
get on
important
that
people.
call yesterday, and there was more than, because it was all through Zoom, and there was more than a little confusion on the call.
Yeah.
And, so for the first 20 minutes or so, there's a lot of people. You hear everybody's noise in the back, and then you realize there are, hundreds and hundreds of people on this call. You can.
You're all in the little tiny square.
All you need
no,
is
it's all on it's a only voice, not.
All you need is
not-
2% of them to be unmuted to have a complete chaos.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it was not pretty, and then the senator came on, but it was too cumbersome to really. He made a statement,
Sure.
asked for questions, and it wasn't. Yeah, it was a little messy.
You can try a little smaller version of it. The Kiwanis are having a virtual meeting.
Yes,
I think
we
on
are.
Thursday
Yeah.
night. And I miss all of those meetings, folks.
Now you can't.
Kiwanis-
You've got no excuse.
No, I do have an excuse because, unfortunately, folks.
Oh, was Peter coming over?
Yeah, Peter is coming over that night on Thursday. No, actually, the opera begins at 6:30 every night, which was we can talk. Hey, Peter, what's my song for number 2? I don't have my schedule printed up in front of me, so I
You
don't.
want one, Bob?
Oh, sure, I'd love one, but you can tell me the song, and then I can go from there.
It's a spoonful of sugar, Bob.
Oh, it's a spoon. Where's the spoon? Do you know that song, Mr. Pegluca?
A spoonful of sugar?
Yeah.
Never heard it before.
You know, come on, you have children.
So lying.
I decided that I would do this, but this is there's
Not only do I have children, but I was a children.
Oh, you were a children. Did your bigger brother take you to see? Because I took my sister. She's now 67 to see.
No, I'm
to
trying
see,
to remember. I remember when that was
Mary
Sound.
Poppins.
Yeah, Mary Poppins. I keep wanting to say Sound of Music,
Yeah,
but I
well,
remember when that came out.
Yeah, Julianne.
But it was all. I remember that we had one movie theater in town. And so that was on the marquee, and you always passed it when you were going to the market. And that was a big deal, yeah.
I took my sister to the Capitol Theater in downtown Springfield. It's been torn down. It's down near where Tilly's is in that area over there. And it's not even Tilly's now. It's what's the name of that place? Nadim's or no? On Main Street.
Downtown.
On downtown. Where
it's Nadim's now.
Yeah, is it Theodore's? No, Theodore's is on Worthing.
It's Nadim's.
Nadim's.
It's in Springfield.
Yeah, it's right across
right around
from
there
HYM.
was where this theater was, where I took my sister to see Spoonful of Sugar. So I was thinking of songs that make you feel good. And, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. And they said, I can't have Julie Andrews sing it. So I found this great, We Love Disney is an album where you've got all these stars singing Disney songs. And so this is a country version of A Spoonful of Sugar.
Okay, you have my interest.
Yeah, sung by Casey Musgraves, and it's
Big
really
country
cool.
star.
Big country star. So this Spoonful of Sugar in every job that
In every
must be
job that
done.
must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap. The job's a game, and every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a lark, a spree. It's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way. A robin feathering his nest is very little time to rest while gathering his bits of twine and twig. Though quite intent in his pursuit, he's got a merry tune to toot. He knows a song will move the job along. And a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way. Right, boys? The honeybees that fetch the nectar from the flowers to the comb, they never tire of buzzing to and fro. Yeah, 'cause they take a little nip from every flower that they sip, and hence they find their task is not a grind. Can't y'all play it any faster? Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Pick it up, boys. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Even faster. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Oh, in a most delightful way.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue, in Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
So great. Wow, it's Tuesday morning. Yes. And it is yet.
It is yet?
It is yet. Yeah, this is the day after yesterday, everyone.
Yet it is.
And it's Tuesday. My trusty, dusty, lusty, thrusty sidekick.
Thrusty?
Thrusty. Somebody I said I can't think of any other name or rhyme. Trusty, musty, dusty, crusty, and lusty sidekick. And well modulated. And
there's your porno name, Jay. Thrusty Peg Luca.
Thrusty Peg Luca.
When you say that, all I can think of is the Three Amigos salute. And I'm not sure I want to go there.
No,
that's Jay's porno name.
Oh.
Thrusty Peg Luca.
No.
Oh, for God.
Far from any place I want to be.
Oh, my God. Hey, so that's Jay Peg Luca. And there we've got the March Madness mayhem maker over there behind the board, Peter Cole.
By the way, I got to say, I saw Martin Short and Steve Martin over in Springfield.
That?
I saw them in Springfield live.
Do this. Yeah, I love that show.
And one of the routines that they do is that Three Amigos salute. With that.
Yeah. All
right. Well, they pulled people out of the audience for that.
Oh, gosh.
And one of the people, of all people, that they pulled was somebody I know, Dino, who runs the 911 just over the line in Agawam, just down 187 a piece.
Dino.
And he was just hilarious. The whole routine was hilarious, but maybe it's just because I knew one of the guys on stage. It made it fun. So.
Sure. Hey, I wanted to say, it's very interesting how this coronavirus really makes changes. The newspaper is smaller. Our newspaper is smaller, and
because there's nobody out there to make trouble.
Well, there's no news, no news. Well, you can. There's a lot of ways to people connected to important things, but they made the decision. This is the Republican and the Westfield News is a little smaller because they're saving money on newsprint. Because they're worried that in order to keep
there's no advertising money coming in right now.
Right, and so therefore they are being responsible to their business, and
this is going to be the death of a lot of small businesses and big businesses too.
I tend to agree with you. I'm hoping for the best, but I know there's going to be a lot of small businesses that don't make it to the other side of this.
Oh, yeah.
And some big businesses. It's the ones like you're saying. It's the ones that are reacting to cut costs early. Now the easiest way to cut costs is just lay everyone off.
Yeah,
but
Harvard did it to their entire dining staff.
Really?
As soon as the students left, they were all laid off. Everybody.
Does that happen? I think that happens every year, though, Peter. I think they're
but not this early. Those people depend on all this money to get to June. They really depend on working through June.
Yeah.
And Westfield State tried to put their dining staff over to facilities to help those guys out, and they got a lot of grief for it.
Oh, got it.
Because when you lay people off, there's two ways to do it. You can lay them off, and they may or may not come back. You can furlough them and hope they come back.
What's the difference between a layoff and a furlough?
A furlough gives you some expectation that you're going to have a job at the other end of whatever.
This is just a temporary, seasonal layoff.
Yeah, seasonal layoff. Or you hire seasonal workers.
Smith & Wesson's done it for years. They tell their staff, we're going, the plant's shutting down for 2 weeks. These 2 weeks, this is when you got to take your vacation. They furlough them.
I see.
But if I have 1,000
soldiers go on furlough too, isn't that?
Well, that's different. That's a vacation.
Oh, that's R&R.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but if I'm a business and I have 1,000 people working for me, and I need to reduce my workforce because my business is now smaller by 10 people, I lay 10 people off. I don't expect to have them back. But the last thing I want to do is lay off 500 of them because I don't need them for a month. Well, how many aren't going to come back? How much did I invest in the training to get that person to do what he does?
Sure.
And I'm just speculating as someone that runs a team with 30 people on it.
Yeah.
They all know their jobs. They've all been around for, I don't think I've got anybody there less than 30 years.
Wow.
How do you replace that? Now,
You don't.
I know I have some retirements coming up.
Sure.
And I'm hoping to work around those retirements. As that retires, my business is going to shrink by that much.
I see.
Printing business is not getting bigger.
Yeah.
We predicted the paperless office in the 80s, and then it's here, and we're going, huh? What happened to
Oh, yeah.
But it's, the business is moving in different directions. Software, artificial intelligence,
Do you think that
digital printing.
would there ever come a time when printing is not, people don't print things? When we don't have these papers in front of us?
I'm still a guy that likes to pick up a newspaper at home and read the news.
There's coming to a point where you're going to have basically electronic paper.
Electronic paper.
So that the pads get so thin,
So
that
thin?
they're basically like holding a piece of paper.
Oh, it's sort of like in Harry Potter, where the books in Harry Potter have pictures on them, and
The
the
change.
pictures, they move. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
They've
pictures
already
on the
developed
wall.
prototypes
Yeah. Oh,
for it. They
yeah.
just can't mass produce it right now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wild. Well, in the paper a couple of weeks ago, it had a whole list of things. You have extra time, get organized. And I thought these were some tips.
Kenny's deep cleaned his whole house. Now he's bored.
Oh, well, here's some things for him to do. Order picture frames and albums. Do you have a stack of photos you have been meaning to put in frames or photos? If so, a few minutes online to find options that will work for you and place the order. Depending on how long social distancing lasts, you may even have time to put those photos into the frames and albums. So all of those all your photos you wanted to put into albums, you could do that during this time.
When my kids were little, we were at Disney, and I had a couple of caricatures made up, and I think they were probably like 4 and 8 years old. So I had some caricatures made up, rolled them up, and stuck them in the back of one of my bedroom drawers. Found them about a year ago.
Yeah.
I said, oh, this is so cool. I've always wanted to put these in a frame. So I brought them down to a guy in town that does framing. I says, look, fix these up really nice. And I gave them to Marion for her birthday.
Oh,
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was. It was 2 years ago now.
You haven't picked them up?
They're in the frames, and they're sitting on the floor. I just haven't put them on the wall
You
yet.
haven't found there it is.
Yeah.
This is it.
Now's the time
That's
to
one
do
of
it.
it. Okay. How about sending notes? Write those thank you cards that you have had on your to-do list for the past few months.
I would, but I forgot who I wanted to say thank you to.
I know, really. Organize and minimize your inbox. Spend 15 minutes deleting and filing emails.
I did that the other day.
Did you?
That's easy. You highlight the top one, you go all the way to the bottom and hit shift and hold and click the bottom one and then hit delete. That's easy.
Okay, wait a minute, because that might help me, because I can only delete what's on my page. I have to delete 100 at a time, and I have 90,000 emails in my inbox or outbox or whatever the box is that I'm using. I have no.
There's a rule of thumb I learned long ago with email, and that you got to be diligent with this thing, and It's really easy to go, I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later. I'll get to it. And that's how you end up with the 90,000 emails that you've never gotten to.
Yeah.
So my goal at the end of every day, as I go down, I start at the top.
Right.
Even though it's usually a chain of, the ones I love is an email chain with 20 people.
Oh, that's the worst.
That are involved, and they all reply all.
Yeah.
And I says, okay, I'll just wait, because I know where it's going.
Yeah.
So I'll just wait for everybody else to reply all. I'll wait till this afternoon, and I'll pick that one, and okay, now I'll just read through the whole chain. Nope, I never needed any of it. And then you can search on the title for that particular subject line.
Sure.
They'll all come up, and then just delete them all. That's it. I'm done with that one.
Because I like, you know how you make this statement, I'm going to save that because I might use that. I was saving things for my golden years, my old age. I realized, I think
and
I
you're
talked
there.
out, and I'm there.
Your
and
old
I'm
age
thinking,
folder?
Well, yeah, it's my old age, my old age records that I'm going to listen to. The cassettes that I had back in the 60s.
I have 8 tracks,
yeah. You know, those kinds of things. And I'm thinking, my golden year, we could just throw them out. So the same thing with the emails. I could probably delete those emails. And if I wanted to find something,
I've got a file of archived emails. Every year I take everything, at the end of 2019.
See, this is what I should be doing.
I just archive all of those into a folder. If I ever need it, I can go in and look for it, but that's archived and it's in the cloud somewhere. I don't know
wow!
But as I go through every day, every email, I told what I do to the reply all idiots.
Yeah, sure.
All right, but then every other email, okay, I have 3 choices. I can reply, I can delete it, or I can answer it. Those are the 3 choices.
Reply, delete, and answer. The delete sounds good to me. Although now at this time when we're all sort of connecting, I'm not good at. I know you're going to say
Bob's a digital hoarder.
I am a digital hoarder, but I am not much of a Facebooker.
I think I screwed that up, but anyway.
Yeah, for anybody that is wondering.
Oh, see, I'm a good Facebooker.
Oh no, I'm not at all.
That was it. It's reply. Yeah, reply, delete, or file it. Those were the 3. I think I said answer, which is the same as reply.
Gotcha. I do not. I get lost. I have too many friends on Facebook. That's what I should do.
Marion,
if you're my friend out there, if you're my friend, I love you. Or I don't know you, but I love you because you friended me and I was kind enough to friend you back. But now I have like 1,500 friends, close friends. And I'm thinking...
really close friends.
I can't...
And they've all been to your house, Bob.
Facebook does the thing where the people that you collaborate with the most and talk to the most, that's primarily what you see in your news feed.
Is that right?
Yeah. They have algorithms to do that now.
See, and I hate to admit it, but I still don't know how Facebook works, and my wife picks on me all the time.
Uh-huh.
Well, when Facebook came out, we both agreed to get on it years ago, right? And all of a sudden, she's noticing I have more friends than she does, and it's really annoying her. And then she's starting to ask me, well, who's so-and-so?
Oh, yeah.
Who's
my God.
All right, so let's do
I don't
a
know.
JPEG Luca friend drive.
Yeah.
Let's get them up to 5,000. We'll fill them up.
I don't know who any of these people are. And she's going, well, why do you accept? Well, somebody suggested them.
No. Yeah. I always think, well, someday I'm going to. I do. I mail out the notices for Westfield on weekends and stuff. So the only time anybody on Facebook ever hears from me is when I'm trying to sell something.
You should promote your show, Bob. I've been asking you to do that for 3 years now. I think you get a lot. I know that Harry Rock, and Kenny Stomsky both promote their shows, and they get the most views consistently. So does Stefan Zaporowski.
We have such a loyal audience.
Oh yeah. All right, so I'm going to start doing that. So what do? I go to the archives. And
promote it before your show, Bob, saying what's going to happen. You see.
Oh, all right.
You get people ready to you get them excited about your show, right? And then once the show is up on the YouTube, you take the YouTube link and you put it on your Facebook again, saying, if you missed my show today, here are the great guests we had, and here's the link to look at it.
I'm going to do this.
It's really not complicated,
all of these
Bob.
people are going to say, he's so damn narcissistic.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
they're going to say you're promoting your show.
So I don't have to start to tell everybody what I had for lunch.
Wait. You're using big words again. A narcissistic? It's
See President Trump.
Yes.
Does that mean like you're?
And I'm still not buying that. I think he's just a knucklehead.
You're proud of the way you look, right? You're proud of the way you look, and you're hey, look at me. Well, see, a narcissist wouldn't do that with his glasses.
Oh, you mean this? I've got my glasses. I've got the ones that break in the middle, and then
I just can't get used to seeing that. It looks broken.
It does look broken, and I usually have those ones for the TV that I bring in that are different, the regular ones. Hey, move your furniture in one room and clean that room.
We're back to that stuff.
Oh yeah, deep clean your kitchen cabinets. Oh, when
deep
was the
clean?
Deep clean.
Oh, you mean take all the crap out of them?
Get rid of all those spices that have been there for 5 or 7 years.
Oh my God, that majoram that I bought back in 1942.
I might do that because my spice cabinet's getting out of hand.
Oh gosh, well, here's one. This is interesting. Wash backpacks and reusable bags. And in this time, I think we were supposed to do that. When you go to the store,
they're banned right now.
What are banned?
Reusable bags.
Why are they banned?
Because of the spread of germs. The governor ordered that they not be used right now.
You mean in stores?
Yes.
Can I bring my own reusable? But how am I going to carry things to the...
They were suggesting you do not. Read the governor's order.
Well, how am I going to get the stuff to the car?
There's no charge for plastic. They said you could start using plastic or paper bags right now.
You're kidding me. Oh, gosh. All right. So
Kenny was right.
So
Just saying, Kenny was right.
Paper bags and okay, so now when I go to the Big Y after this. This is my day out, everyone. I come here to the studio. This is it.
The big day out.
The day after I leave here, I'm going to the Big Y to shop. If you want to meet me on aisle 4, I'll be glad to say hello to you. And then I go home. So
wait, you're holding audiences at aisle 4 at the
why
Big
not?
Y?
Why not? It's the pasta aisle.
Bob
I'll
Plass,
tell
pick up
everybody
on aisle
about
4. Bob Plass, pick up on aisle 4.
Turmeric pasta. That's my latest.
Turmeric.
Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Turmeric pasta. I know it sounds awful, but turmeric pasta.
You just like the coloring.
Oh my God, I love the coloring, but it tastes delicious. And I found that there's another kind of the store-bought pesto is not bad. And so when I'm forced
Make your own.
Oh no, I can't. Well, I suppose I could.
Get some pine nuts and some greens and make your own.
I'm into walnuts.
You have
lately.
a food processor.
I do have.
I saw somebody make pesto out of sunflower seeds.
Yeah, I think you could do it.
It was on Beat Bobby Flay last night because I was bored.
You should have come on over. We would have. We would have kept a safe distance, and I would have waved at you. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Oh, okay. So it's 6:56 in the morning.
You're calling me the March Madness, so I found the March Madness theme that I can play every break when you announce me again.
Oh,
Ready?
I love it. There he is. March Madness. Yeah, this is your last day to do that.
I know, that's why I'm rolling it out.
There it is. Hey, I'm really worried about John Prine. He's in critical condition from the coronavirus. And you know John Prine, the singer, he's written so many wonderful songs. What's the big song that he wrote? Hello in There. You guys don't know John Prine?
No.
Oh my God! I gotta find. I'll give you more information when we come back.
Your old age folder, Bob.
Oh, he is one of the prime candidates for I think he's going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think he's on the list this year, but he's in critical condition. So I thought I'd play. This is his song from his great album called Bruised Orange. That's the Way the World Goes, and this is John Prine.
I got glue on my string. That's the way that the world goes round.
I know a guy that's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella, kinda confused, got muscles in his head, ain't never been used, thinks he owns half of this town. Starts drinking heavy, gets a big red nose, beats his old lady with a rubber hose, then he takes her out to dinner, buys her new clothes. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch wider and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. I was sitting in the bathtub, counting my toes when the radiator broke. Water all froze, I got stuck in the ice without my clothes, naked as the eyes of a clown. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak when the sun come through the window. The ice all broke, I stood up and laughed, thought it was a joke. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest Ace dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, March 31st, 1942.
You can only run the time tone at the top of the hour. And that wasn't the
I know
top
I
of the
missed
hour.
it.
You were late.
It's 2020, everybody.
In Morse code, what is that?
Oh, you just told me.
I told you.
It's
does
V
Peter
for
know?
victory.
It is. It's V. It's
Da da
letter
da
V.
dum, da 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 dum,
Dot, dot, dot,
da
dash.
dum. It's a Beethoven symphony. Da 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 dum, da 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 dum.
It's that
the,
too.
The
Yes.
orchestra takes off. Yeah. Hey, I wanted to thank our Wisconsin musical director for John Prine's song, and wish everybody in Wisconsin my best. All my family out there, we want them healthy. And John Prine won 2 Grammy Awards, and he was nominated for 11. And his music is so wonderful. You got to check him out, John Prine. And get well, please get well. We don't want to lose any money else to coronavirus. Oh gosh. Hey everybody, 7:03 in the morning, and guess who is on the line? Who's on the line, Peter?
The Master of the Universe is on the line.
Yeah, Master of the Denny.
Hello. Good morning, Denny.
And good morning to you, Mr. Flash. How are you?
I'm really good. I mean, like, I didn't sleep as much as I wanted to last night, but well, yeah, I was stuck watching the dialogue of the Carmelites, that opera.
There you go.
Yeah. I was with the nuns, and they were all going to the guillotine about 11 o'clock, and I was thinking, oh, get this over with.
It's a
Just
cheerful
kill 'em.
thought.
Yeah. They went to the guillotine. They gave it up. They gave up their lives because they thought that martyrdom was better than the other dumb.
See, I was thinking differently. I'm thinking you were brought up in a Catholic school, so that's why you took joy in that little episode.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Bob, we have breaking news.
Yes, what is it? Breaking news. What is
The
it?
Brimfield Flea Market canceled.
Oh, that's a big
When was that scheduled for?
Usually it's
May, isn't it?
Memorial Day weekend, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
what's
I
it?
think it is.
Yeah, you've been there, Denny. I think we've been there together.
I think we were once a while ago, and it's a big event, and it raises money, and it's for a good cause. But it's sad, like everything else. Everything's being postponed. And
Oh gosh.
Anything through May is kind of like gone by the wayside.
Yeah.
I was there once. I was at the flea market once with Marion, and I found myself finding a tent at the edge of the woods, and I went and checked stuff out.
Oh.
And then I realized there's another tent a little further, and I checked that one out. And then, there's another tent with some
There are
interesting
4,000
stuff.
tents.
By the time I came out of the last tent, I was in the middle of the woods and didn't know where I was.
How many lights did you buy, Jay?
No, they weren't selling lights there, no.
I think so. That's a real mark of the time that the flea market has been canceled. So much has been canceled. But hey, so
You like my new sounder?
Yeah, I love your new sounder, Denny. Tell everybody where you are right now.
Well, I just washed my hands.
Good. Thank you for doing that for me.
I'm actually just a little ways away from you in Westfield.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, my partner, is down at our home in Delaware, out on the ocean.
Oh gosh.
He's off work for a couple of weeks, but because he has manufacturing status, Governor Lamont in Connecticut wants all manufacturers to go back to work, and so he'll be going back to work next week.
Really?
Yeah, he's the CFO of a company in Connecticut, and they have laid off all their workers, but they're bringing them back on.
And are they going to be producing something? Because I know it's the American Woolens, they produce fabrics.
Right.
So will they be producing something for the government?
Well, they are. Well, they're already producing something for the government, but unfortunately, it's not related to the coronavirus. As many people know, the military is changing. The Army is changing all their uniforms to the World War II era pink and greens, what they call the pink and greens. And
Pink and green.
Pink and greens is the term
Yeah.
for the uniforms that the Army wore during World War II.
Uh-huh.
And they decided about 3 years ago. Our good friend John Velas knows all about this, of course.
Yeah.
That going back to those uniforms. It does seem like a strange thing that it's going to be. It costs millions and millions of dollars to do this.
Yeah.
But the American Wool and Michael's company got a large part of the contract to produce the fabric for the new uniforms.
You know, it's funny. I remember my uncle who was in the service and wearing those uniforms and feeling, I can still feel the fabric. It was a wool fabric. I mean, like, it's interesting that they
absolutely, yeah.
they wouldn't go with but pink. That does not have anything to do with the color of it, is it? They're not.
No, I don't think there is. If you look, if people are interested and they want to look it up. If you look, when you look at the hue of it, there is a pinkish quality to the green.
Really?
It's very subtle, and I don't know. I have to research why they called them the pinks and greens.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's any military person will tell you they're familiar with that term.
Yeah, it would be kind of shocking to see the whole army in pink. I mean,
not shocking. Not shocking to you and I, Bob.
No, that's true. We'd wear pink. I'd wear pink tomorrow. Pink is a great color. Do you have a pink shirt, Peter? It's a,
Yeah, I have a polo shirt that's pink and white.
Pink and white.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a button-down pink shirt.
I did notice that little bit
preppy.
of a tinge, though, when I'm looking at my son's uniform. I did notice that little bit. It's mostly green, but it's just, you could tell if you look at it for a long period of time, you can tell that little bit of a tinge to it.
Really?
Yeah.
But most men that wear pink, it's only because their wives refuse to always do their laundry. And men who do their own laundry are going to end up with pink.
No, I actually enjoyed that shirt because you guys have seen it before. It's got the little white and pink stripes that alternate, and it looks really good on me, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
I haven't worn it in a while because it's an old shirt, but yeah,
wild. Hey, so Den, you also are you're a good person to talk to about what it's like. Your mom, who's Mary Akins, is 104, and she.
No, she'll be 103 next month.
Oh, it's 103. I've been giving her another year. All right. Well, I hope she has another year. And she's
pleased for you.
Huh? What was that?
She's happy you're giving her another year.
All right, good. I've got it. Yeah, God gives you another year, Mary. Maybe 4 or 5. She's outlived everyone. I think she'll probably be around. At the end of, she'll be the one that's saying, "Go get in there. I'll be right into heaven or something." But at any rate,
she's feisty.
Yeah. So she is in a facility.
And she is. She went into Mount St. Vincent about a year ago.
Yeah.
And of course, I was actually anticipating them closing down to all visitors. I'm surprised they waited as long as they did. So for about 2.5 weeks now, we've not been able to visit her, but we can call in to her floor, and the nurses will let us talk to her by phone.
Has she figured it out at all? I mean, I think that a lot of older folks are in homes are going, where are has my family rejected me or it's really.
This is interesting, Bob, because I think I believe I talked to one of the nurses, and what they're telling people, because coronavirus is too complicated.
Yeah.
So they're using the term flu.
Okay.
There's a flu going around, yeah. Now, my mother, as you know, Bob,
right,
is sharper than the average pin.
Oh, God,
and
yes.
My mother, actually, because she was born in 1917, she actually lost a sibling in the Spanish flu of 1919.
Oh, you're kidding! I remember this. I mean, I don't remember it. I wasn't there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
She had a sister. And back then, they literally, my grandfather had to carry her out to a cart on Union Street, and where bodies were being picked up. 300 million people died worldwide.
How many?
I believe it was 300 million.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but don't forget, they had even less facilities and less ability than we had today.
Yeah, sure.
So the virus just ran too. And ever since that virus, they've been concerned about another repeat. Nature has a way of repeating itself.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm
looking up those numbers.
Yeah. So they really had to. That's awful that they had to take the body and bring it out onto the street like garbage or something.
Unfortunately, and there's for those historians in Westfield, they'll know at St. Mary's Cemetery up on Southampton Road.
Right.
There's actually a large mass grave section where all the people from the Spanish flu were buried, and they were not individually graved or anything.
Oh, maybe because they thought the bodies themselves would give off the Spanish flu?
Yeah. I think there was concern at that time. They didn't really understand, this as much as we do today.
Sure. Wow. But it must be really tough in a way that here you are. I wonder if you could be on FaceTime with your mother. Maybe do some Skyping. Would the nurses do that for you? Do they do that in the nursing home?
They will, but unfortunately, the staffing levels today are so difficult everywhere that they hardly have time to even get everyone their medication. I want to correct something. I'm looking up the 1918 pandemic.
Yeah.
And there was 500 million people that were infected.
500 million.
That was 1/3 of the world's population back then. 50 million people died.
50.
Yes.
Oh wow, that sort of puts this into perspective. Yeah. But for me, even the mere fact of Dr. Birx yesterday or the day before saying that it could range up into 200,000 in the United States of deaths. It's pretty staggering. But when you think of the Spanish flu, my word, not that we ever want to compare numbers or anything. I think numbers are a bad thing in this sort of thing, but other than to scare people. But I think we really have to scare. Where was I looking in the paper? In New York yesterday when the president came to the Mercy ship that was there, there were people congregating. And not, it was like a big rock concert or something. That lack of social distancing.
Well, America has still a fetish about celebrity status. We know that. So, where people like the president go someplace, it's going to draw a crowd. Well, I just think that's, we do have to be careful. But, what's going to be odd is that it's going to be very odd if in the 1919 Spanish flu, 195,000 Americans died. Well, wouldn't it be odd if the same number of deaths occurred in 2020 from this coronavirus?
Now that's something there. I mean, like we could approach the Spanish flu.
Yes. Well, which doesn't really surprise me because viruses are the one thing that nature kind of holds. It's like the trump card for viruses.
Well, and the thing that they're doing now is the percentage of people reported cases to number of deaths, and I think we're like 0.5%, and we're actually, and this sounds morbid or macabre or whatever, but percentage-wise, we're doing far better than the rest of the world right now, and mostly because we have a really good healthcare system. We really do.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the good news.
Did you see that Lord Dyson, the guy that's been so famous for his vacuum cleaners, designed and is already building ventilators? He designed one in 11 days.
Oh,
man.
That's amazing, the ingenuity of our Elon Musk I think is designing one too.
Yeah.
Peter, I just have to correct one thing that Peter said.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why our death rate is significantly lower may very well have to do with the fact that our testing ability, because we're one of the last countries that have gotten this, our testing ability is much greater than it was originally in Europe or China or Italy.
Yeah, that's true
So
too, Denny. Yeah.
more numbers might be identified, so therefore that's going to lower. So in those other countries, there might be far more people affected, but they didn't know because they didn't test, which would have brought their death rate down.
Yeah, I think in this country there's
yes.
going to be far more people affected that never get tested. That just, with telemedicine, they just say stay home if your symptoms aren't that bad.
And in the
they
flu,
never end up getting
here we
tested.
are in allergy season as well as flu season, and or the common cold. I mean, how do you tell the difference? And gosh, I've had the sniffles for 3 weeks, and every time I sniffle, I think, oh my gosh, am I ill? But I know I'm not. I don't have any fever or anything like that. It's my regular seasonal allergies.
Now we also have a terrible tragedy. I don't know if you've talked about this or not, but
No.
That's like my mother's nursing home is being so careful.
Yes.
And thank God, so far so good.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case at our children's home.
No.
I don't know if you're following that. Have you
I
followed
just
that?
heard a snippet of it earlier. Peter was telling me, and oh my God.
We lost 5 men up there, 5 people there already, and I think up to 11 more have been infected, and now the superintendent, our good friend,
Yeah,
has
Bennett.
stepped down.
I was wondering. I was speculating this to postulating this to Bob. I don't know if they ever replaced the medical director when the last one retired.
Well, who was the last one?
It was Ramon Torcia's spouse.
Yeah, but I don't think has he retired?
Yeah, he's been gone
Yeah.
for a couple months.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So I don't know if they've been without a medical director. So I don't know if they had somebody there to kind of ride herd on that stuff. I know that was not Bennett's forte. He was a good leader, but no, he's not a medical guy.
Well,
Yeah.
the whole thing. I feel like you, Peter, and Bob, and our good friend Westfield. I'm devastated by this because Bennett is a friend. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a good man.
Immensely talented and a very good man.
Yep.
And I'm angry if this is a virus, and a virus can come in on the tip of a pencil.
Yep.
And there's no way. I mean, you could have a Nobel laureate medicine person who could not stop this.
Right.
So I need to understand better the political situation.
Sure.
Yeah,
very
that's what's concerning me about all this.
And
of course.
But hell, we've got to also remember 5 veterans. We don't need. Oh gosh. And I hope they're now going in and doing what they need to do to make sure that the flu stays or the flu. Listen to me.
Well, it's almost. I mean, I don't want to be.
Is it too late?
It may be. It's like in this country. We didn't have testing early enough.
Yeah.
And we didn't, and we should have been. And I'm not blaming anyone.
No.
When you see China and then it spreads to Italy and Iran and South Korea to the numbers it did.
Yeah.
We should have been on all systems go to prepare this nation, and we were not.
Wow.
So the fact that these doctors and you and I can talk on the phone, Bob, and have such a nice conversation about this.
Right.
There are doctors and nurses who are wearing trash bags to try to fight this thing, and it is this. And we're the wealthiest nation on earth, and we missed the boat.
Oh boy. Yeah. I don't get it, and it saddens me. And I for the first time since this started, last night I was lying in bed and I had a moment of fear, and I just sort of said, "Gosh, I'm part of I'm at 75 years old. I'm sort of in a state where." I've never had a sword of Damocles hanging above my head. You know what that is? The idea that we walk around with the fear that maybe, just maybe, we're going to get something and then be placed on a ventilator. And the idea of ventilators and placing you on a ventilator is not it's a good thing for one, but if you remain on it, you end up dying, don't you? I mean, you're.
Well, many people will, but don't forget, Bob. mercifully, there's a lot of sedation involved, and I mean, I don't really think nature is ever this is my personal philosophy.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, we have sort of Damocles hanging over our head from the moment we were born.
Well, that's a good look. The thinking, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and people like you and I, Bob, who are, I'm in my late 60s, you're in your 70s, and we have so many elderly friends. We're in the lucky group. We've had incredibly wonderful lives.
Well,
and
that's
today,
true. Yeah.
We're ahead. We're protected. We have to think at this time of the masses of people, even elderly people who are far less fortunate than we are.
Alone with this. Alone.
Yes.
And
that should bring us comfort. And most of your listeners should realize that too.
Sure.
I don't think this is so much something to fear. I mean, particularly when we're older. We have to remember how many of our young friends died during Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
You and I know. Look at the young people that died of HIV/AIDS.
Oh, very true. Yeah.
Talk about alone. No one wanted to bring food to their rooms. Never mind.
No
guests.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is nothing new, and in a way, we're all soldiers of life. We're all soldiers, and we have to do what soldiers do now and hunker down and do our jobs.
You know what? That's a perfect analogy, and we have to be part of this in some way.
Yeah.
And we also, I think, either it's in whatever way, whether it's financially or and Amy Tosi's and her family are making masks for the for the firemen, I think, or something. But we've got to find a way to participate in our community in some way or other, and maybe that's only praying for all. Maybe that's all somebody can do. That's enough, But still, you just need to do something. And so, at any rate, hey, so I'm going to play for you. I just finished a week talk about tragic Wagner. Oh my God, the opera.
What are you doing to us, Bob? You're getting everybody down again.
No. I'm going to bring you right back up because I'm going to play you the Ride of the Valkyries.
Is this from the Ring trilogy?
This is the Ring cycle, yes. 4 operas. I watched every one of them, 15 hours long. 15 hours of German mythology, and I won't go into the story, but I always that woman, the Ride of the Valkyries. You heard it in Apocalypse Now. They used it when the helicopters were coming in, and you picture the Valkyries as they have these big they're Amazon women, and they have these big horns.
They're Vikings.
Yeah, and they're a big, large woman. Well, I always thought that they were fighting. Well, it turns out that this Brunhilde, who's the head of the Valkyries, is the major love interest in the last 2 operas of the Ring cycle. And so all these years when I've been picturing Helen Traubel or Birgit Nielsen or all these big women, we always picture them. They are the real love interest that Siegfried is pining for. And
Denny, admit it, you missed this.
Yeah. So at any rate, I recommend if you ever want to see one of the Ring cycles, see the second one, which is the Ride of the Valkyries. So at any rate, the melodica men. You know what a melodica is? Have you ever heard of that? A melodica?
Isn't it like an organ type of thing?
It's a piano keyboard that you blow into. It's a wind instrument. And we had one when I was a kid. For some reason, my uncle brought one back from Germany or something. But picture a small keyboard, and you blow on it. And there's a group called the Melodica Men. You can see them on YouTube. They're fantastic, and they're so much fun. And they dress up for each one of the songs that they do. You got to see them do this. This is the Melodica Men doing on a melodica, which is kind of like a kazoo, the Ride of the Valkyries. Valkyries.
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield. That's how it should sound, Bob.
Wow. What is this?
It's Ride of the Valkyries.
Is this the Electric Light Orchestra or something?
No.
Who's singing?
This is actually a WWE wrestler's entrance music.
Oh, really?
They redid Ride of the Valkyries as a full rock band.
Unbelievable.
I think it's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Wow, I love it.
Daniel Bryan uses that. He's
Oh, my
he's a 100% Earth First guy.
Ah, gotcha.
From
hey,
Oregon.
If you're interested in these operas, I've watched 13 of them in the last 13 days. And I think it's a little obsessive, to tell you the God's honest truth.
Just a little, Bob?
Yeah. OCD is attacked me again. And I don't know. I've got tonight is The Barber of Seville, which is a comedy. So I may cleanse my palate with it. Huh? You can no.
Kill the rabbit.
Kill the rabbit. Barbara of Seville. No, Barbara. It's not Barbara Streisand. What is it? Barber of Seville. It's a barber in a Spanish town, Seville. And it's by Molière, the play, and Verdi's opera. At any rate, you can see all these operas free on metopera.com. And every night at 7:30, they have a different opera. And I think there are some other TV stations that are doing similar things. I think PBS.org is showing free...
how about us?
Plays, and yes,
Channel 15
and Channel 15. Tell us about the Channel 15 ones.
A whole bunch of musicians have been doing Facebook Live events, and we've been simulcasting those on Channel 15 and WSKB, so that people tuning in can listen to something different than all the news coverage, or kind of channel. WSKB is kind of on a loop because there's no students up there. So they did a social distancing fest, and it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday last week, and I think it's going to be the same thing this week. 4 hours of different musicians coming up on the hour, and we also broadcast our good friends Rick Starkey and Jeff Dow from C.A. Jones. They did a 2-hour set from a very empty Whiskey Barrel bar over in South Hadley. The venue opened up so they could do a live stream out of there, and we did that on Sunday from 6 to 8. So we've been doing live music.
So if you were, let's say, in Wisconsin and wanted to see one of these things that you'd have to go on WestfieldTV.org.
Correct.
In order to see it. And so the schedule for this week is, when is that going to be posted somewhere?
I'm looking to post that. What I did is last week's I put on Channel 12. Our community calendar. I posted the schedule for the Social Distancing Fest. I haven't seen graphic for this week yet.
Sure, so it's going to happen. Well, thank you, Peter, for doing that.
I just want to do something different because people are inundated with news coverage and needed something different out there.
Something other than operas, if you're not interested. What, Peter?
Some kind of music.
So, Denny, what are you watching? What are you spending your time doing?
Well, first of all, I'd like to advise other people to do the same thing. I only watch the news for about 20 minutes in the morning.
Good suggestion.
I refuse to turn that on and sit with CNN all day because that will make you crazy.
Yeah.
But you do have to listen to it to catch up on what you need to do and what you need to know. So that if we watch a little bit, about maybe a half hour in the evening of news, and that's it. Other than that, there's as you keep on saying, Bob, which you're right about.
Yeah.
This is the golden age of television. There's so much good television on.
Oh, man.
Most of us have access to watch it. I do want to, if you don't mind, I want to give a plug to today was supposed to be the special election.
Gosh. Yeah.
For our new senator. And, of course, that was postponed because of the coronavirus. And the new date for the election is going to be Tuesday, May 19th.
Tuesday, May 19th. Okay, gotcha.
And what we're trying to encourage all people to do is to go or online to City Hall, Westfield City, citywestfield.com, or .org, and get an application for a early ballot or absentee ballot.
You can get those online?
You can get the application. It's a simple one-page application that you have to fill out, and you can either mail it back to City Hall, or you can drop it in the box that's on the bottom floor, outside the bottom door in the back by City Hall.
On the side door. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And what they'll do is they'll get that application and they'll mail you a ballot, which you can then fill out and mail back to them. So you never have to.
Could you do this without having to print? If somebody doesn't have a printer, can you print up, or is it online? Peter?
An application? Yes, I believe there's an online application as well. You can fill online.
Yeah. You have, Bob, you can call them. Call the city clerk's office. They'll mail you the application.
Oh, that's a good one, too. Okay, gotcha.
People cannot leave the house because they have conditions that are making them stay in the house right now.
Sure. And we really don't know. The election is going to go forward whether, regardless. Is that what they're saying?
Right now, yes, but we don't know. So the safest thing to do, and we have a lot of people, certainly in Westfield, who I'm on John Velas's committee, so I want to make sure my vote gets in there. I'll put it in there regardless.
Yeah. And so there are two candidates, John Velas and John Kane. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, John Kane is a Republican from Southwick.
Okay, John Kane, Republican from Southwick, versus Democrat John Velas, who is our current state rep. Is that right? Correct. Okay. Yep. So we can all participate as voters. And, I was thinking about that. I'm wondering if the federal government is planning for the presidential election in November, thinking ahead. I'm hoping they're not going to be reactive. And
I don't have high hopes for that, Bob. I think this administration is kind of behind the eight ball on a lot of things right now, so I don't know. I would hope to think that's the case.
I'm waiting for somebody to ask them that question, because it would seem to me that just to get it out there that, what if there are parts of the country that are still battling, or indeed we have to extend even to there? How do you do a presidential election? And we either do the mail-in ballots or whatever and start to really plan for that. I'm hoping they're doing that.
You have to.
Is that the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee that would do that, or the Election Commission?
There's an election commission that's established who oversees all this. But also...
That would have to be the states, too.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Well, no, the states, I believe, only regulate their primaries. The National Election Commission, I think, established... Yeah, I think they do work with the states. They have to. But I can tell you one thing that would motivate, this is political.
Sure.
I would say one thing that would motivate the Trump team to do something is because by law, if there is no election and January comes around, which is the time that he would have to turn over the reins to the presidency,
right,
and there has not been an election, by constitutional law, the president becomes the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Oh, that's really? Do they really?
That's in the Constitution.
Well, that ought to push him to. That ought to push Mr. Trump.
Not the vice president, not the Senate president. The Speaker of the House becomes President of the United States if there's no election.
Oh, wow! I don't think he knows that yet, and because I don't think he knows that. Oh, God help us. All right. Well,
Madam President.
Yeah, no. Hey, so look, I wanted to play a song to get us to talk a little Broadway. We could do a song by Barbara Cook. It's Stephen Sondheim's 90th birthday. Stephen Sondheim, the Shakespeare of musical comedies. I really think he writes his own lyrics. He writes his own music. He has done West Side Story and Gypsy. Is that right? And also worked with Richard Rodgers, Leonard Bernstein, and then written his own things like Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. I think is probably his most popular. Or Sweeney Todd. It's a great movie to see if you want to see Johnny Depp as a barber. Speaking of barbers, a barber who kills people. It's really something else. Sweeney Todd. But I'm going to play Everybody Says Don't from Anyone Can Whistle. This is Barbara Cook. And just listen, this is a really positive song for this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says don't, everybody says don't, everybody says don't, it isn't right, don't, it isn't nice. Everybody says don't, everybody says don't, everybody says don't walk on the grass, don't disturb the peace, don't skate on the ice. Well, I say do, I say walk on the grass, it was meant to feel. I say sail till to the windmill, and if you fail, you fail. Everybody says don't, everybody says don't, everybody says don't get out of line. When they say that, then, lady, that's a sign. 9 times out of 10, lady, you are doing just fine. Make just a ripple, come on, be brave. This time a ripple, next time a wave. Sometimes you have to start small, climbing the tiniest wall. Maybe you're going to fall, but it's better than not starting at all. Everybody says no, everybody says stop, everybody says mustn't rock the boat, mustn't touch a thing. Everybody says don't, everybody says wait, everybody says can't fight City Hall, can't upset the cart, can't laugh at the kings. Well, I say try, I say laugh at the kings or they'll make you cry. Lose your poise, fall if you have to, but lady, make a noise. Everybody says don't, everybody says can't, everybody says wait around for miracles. That's the way the world is made. I insist on miracles. If you do them, miracles, nothing to them. I say don't be afraid.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com, offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at Xfinity.com.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, March 31st, 2020. 2020. Hey, Peter, we've got who on the phone?
The master of the universe.
Yes, and there he is. Hey, Den, we were talking about Stephen Sondheim. What shows have you seen since we last talked? Have you been to Broadway? You go often.
Broadway's dark, as you know. It was dark since January.
Yeah.
I have not been down there in a while, but I am excited that, Sondheim has a new show coming out, Bob.
He does? A new musical?
A new musical. He has been working on a musical. It's based on two films by the Spanish director, Luis Buñuel.
Oh, I know this. The Louis Brunel. Yeah, I know that. I can't remember what the films are.
Yeah, one of the films was the 1972 movie, The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeois.
Oh, yes, yeah. Bourgeoisie, I think.
Bourgeoisie, yeah. Bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
And
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes, yeah, and the other one was the 1962 film, The Exterminating Angel.
Oh my gosh, I remember this. It's the two angels. They sit on the in Berlin or something, on the arch there in Berlin or something. Interesting.
Well, it's actually both movies are about people at dinner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One is Sondheim was quoted as saying the musical is about trying to find a place to have dinner. The first one deals with interruptions to dinner, and the second one is about people who have dinner but can't leave. So it's about people socializing. And
oh, wow.
And they did, even though Broadway is closed, they did have a private reading and listening at the public last week on this new musical, and the people that came out talked about it. They raved about the music.
Oh my gosh!
How old is him? How old is Sondheim?
90. He's 90 years old this year.
And
90. Yeah, still working.
Yeah.
I had I had two run-ins with Sondheim. He was walking across Lincoln Plaza one day at Lincoln Center, and I saw him. He was on his way to a rehearsal for Follies, that concert version that he did, and I was with Michael Cavanaugh, my friend, and Pat Haynes, and I said, "Oh my God, there's Sondheim." I said, "I never do this, but I'm going to run up to him and I'm going to tell him that he has been the soundtrack of my life and he is the Shakespeare of my life." And I actually ran up to him, and he was quite nice, and he was so charming, and we talked for maybe 5 minutes or so, almost to the point he said, "Well, how's the rehearsal going, etc., etc." Like I was knowing whatever he was doing, and I really had to sort of say, "Hey, you better get to that rehearsal." He was that conversational. That was the first time. The second time, I was standing at a urinal peeing, and he was at the next urinal. This is, I don't know where it was. It was in a theater, I think. And I looked to the side of me. You know how you kind of glance to, because at first I'm pee shy to begin with. And so I go, "Oh my God, I'm standing next to to Sondheim. Do I dare say to him, 'Do you remember me? I was the guy that didn't know.'" And I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. And,
I think that was a wise choice, Bob.
Yeah. So those are my run-ins with famous people. Well, it's one of my favorite run-ins, actually. Stephen Sondheim story. I love. And you saw him. Didn't he do something in Trinity? Didn't you go to a university thing at Trinity where he was there?
That was not Sondheim. That was March of the Falsettos.
Oh, it was William Finn.
William Finn.
The guy that wrote March of the Falsettos. Oh, gotcha. Well, it is so wonderful to know that Stephen Sondheim is still working, and we have more wonderful music. Oh, so great. He wrote, his one big hit was, what do you think his biggest hit was?
I think Company was one of his biggest hits.
Yeah. What song was the one song that everybody would know?
Send in the Clowns.
Send in the Clowns. That's exactly right.
Which is not from Company.
Yeah, it's exactly right. I had a friend who wrote, Tom Toast wrote a version of it called Send in the Clams. I don't know what that was about, but he sent it to him, and he sent him back a nice little note and said, thank you, and keep up the good work, and et cetera, et cetera. But, hey, I got to also note the passing of Terrence McNally. Oh, God. Terrence McNally died of coronavirus. I was saying earlier that John Prine is critically ill with the coronavirus, but our great playwright, Terrence McNally, died at 84 with coronavirus this week. And he will be remembered for his incredible plays. You've seen several of them, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I've seen The Rick. I've seen Love, Valor, Compassion. One I missed, and I always wish I saw, was Corpus Christi.
Oh gosh, yes, yeah. There you can actually see a version of it, I think, on Netflix.
Actually, it's not really the play. It's a documentary about the troubles they had.
Yeah,
with the play. And
that's right.
Sections of it. And you see sections of a version they did in a church in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's very, very controversial. Terrence grew up in Corpus Christi, Texas, as a gay man, and so he wrote a version of the gospel with Jesus. Now, this is going to get everybody upset, but quite honestly, see the play to know how wonderfully human and Jesus is a gay man in this play, and he makes some statements about religion and about God and about caring and love. Incredible. Sort of like Love, Valor, and Compassion, which is really a definitive AIDS play in a sense. The compassion that the gay world has for each other, and that's really a wonderful. Watch the movie; you'd love it. But he's very funny. I mean, he doesn't only do gay themes. He did a thing called Masterclass about Maria Callas teaching a young girl. It was where Audra McDonald got her lead. All of his plays. There's another, his latest one, I think, was Andre's Mother, which he adapted from a TV show, about a mother confronting the fact that her son was dying of AIDS and confronting it with the gay partner. Now, these all sound very heavy shows. Believe me, he's one of the funniest writers you've ever want to see. And also did some musicals. And in fact, the musicals that you would love, The Full Monty. He wrote the lyrics for that. He wrote the lyrics and or the book, as we call it, the libretto, for Ragtime, the great musical Ragtime. Kiss of the Spider Woman, the great musical, The Kiss of the Spider Woman, Kander and Ebb. His last musical was The Visit, with that appeared up at Berkshire, at the Playhouse up there, I think, tried out with Cheetah Rivera, and that was a flop a couple of years back. But just think of the Ragtime. He also wrote an opera based on Dead Man Walking. He was a great opera lover, and Terrence has an interesting thing for me because he taught me something. He taught me the how to keep secrets, believe it or not. He taught me how to keep secrets. And
how did he step up? How did he do that?
Well, I can't tell you exactly, but we actually, I knew Terrence McNally, and I want to just say that he was an honest, good man who gave work in theater to people he helped Billy Barnes, my friend, to become a stage manager. Lenny Folia, who was a young director, who also I knew, he gave him a chance, and Lenny ended up directing Master Class on Broadway. Billy ended up just being a great stage manager for many Broadway shows. Ended up doing the last version of Hello Dolly with Bette Midler. But more to the point, this is a man who told it like it was, and someday, maybe sometime in my life, I will tell that story. But I gotta say that I learned more from Terrence McNally. It was about keeping secrets, and I do keep. Keeping secrets, very, very important. Very, very important. So at any rate, I'm really sort of saddened by the thought of Terrence McNally's death, and thank God he wrote some beautiful plays and whatever. But hey, so recommend some show, television show for people to see. Or movie. What? Tell us.
Well, right now I'm watching the Hunters, which you've seen, Bob.
Oh gosh, that's so great with Al Pacino. Yeah.
Very intense. I mean, I can't watch two in a row because it's just too intense. It's about Nazi hunters, young and old Jews getting together, and the theory is that after the war,
right,
Russia and the United States, who are now entering the Cold War, went after all the top German scientists and brought them to their countries. And of course, America did not want the Russians to get them. So we brought them. Many of them had worked in the Third Reich, and they were evil. But they were given new identities and new places in America to work.
Unbelievable, yeah. Werner von Braun, of all people, when you think of it, he was a Nazi, well-known Nazi, and he came and he ran our space program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the series is about these Jewish people, and the idea that these Nazis were actually getting together to try to eventually come up with another plan for world dominance. And,
holy gosh.
And these Jewish people who are the heroes,
we're
going to make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah. I thought that Al Pacino's and also the woman who's that Carol Kane, who played in the movies. We know her as she's in that Addams Family movie. She's one of the. She is a comedian, but in this, oh my gosh, so wonderful.
And Al Pacino, I think it's the best work I've seen him do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a brilliant actor anyway.
Really, very, very good. Yeah. If you want something light, Mrs. Maisel, I really love Mrs. Maisel.
It's the best.
3 seasons.
What's that?
3 seasons of it. And it's sort of like, it seems to be sort of based on like Joan Rivers' life in a way.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but.
I mean, it has that feel. A woman comedian who's just a regular housewife becoming growing in the 50s. And if you never saw the 1950s, boy, they get the 1950s right and the early 60s right. Honest to God.
It's really a brilliant production. And even the coincide with the comedian Lenny Bruce, who's in it.
Oh, yeah.
Such a brilliant. It kind of reteaches us about the incredible attitude that Lenny Bruce brought to the world of entertainment and comedy.
Oh my gosh, yes. And he was vilified for doing stuff that really was right. He was saying things that our comedians say today much more. I mean, like he was one of the forerunners of today's comedians. Let's put it that way.
Right. I mean, to give your audience a clue, that Mrs. Maisel and he actually meet in jail.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. You got to see this.
They were both arrested for their performances.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh! And it just happens to be the night that Mrs. Maisel's father wants to see her do and sneaks in and finds out that most of her comedy act is based on he and his wife, and she's talking.
That's not when she got arrested, but yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I get it. We gotta sign off here, Dennis. What do you got planned for the day? What's your day like today?
Well, I'm hunkering down like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't decided what I'm watching yet, but my house has never been cleaner, including the dog.
Oh, God.
Kenny said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you cooking anything special tonight?
Because Michael's not here, I tend to just cook for myself, which is much lighter work.
Yes, yeah.
And, I made a bolognese and some rigatoni yesterday that I'll have leftovers today.
Gotcha.
I got a leftover shepherd's pie that I'm kind of consumed for the next day and a half.
Oh, I just finished.
Well, the problem.
Yeah, go ahead.
The problem there, Peter, is finding a good tender shepherd.
General,
Touché, Denny.
It's shepherd's pie, as Stephen Sondheim would say, peppered with actual shepherd. That's the kind of pie that we eat. At any rate, hey, everybody, I'm going to play this is my favorite song, one of my favorites ever. It's The Waters of March by Antonio Carlos Jobim. And this really, it's about the waters down in Rio. They have these spring rains. The rains come and they bring all kinds of, it's about life. It's really a song about what we're going through right now in a way. It's The Waters of March. This is the great jazz singer Mark Murphy. Denny, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Love you. All righty, same here. Everybody, think about how you can help in this crisis. See you soon.
Good message.
Bye-bye.
It's the end of the road, it's the rest of a stump. It's a little alone. It's a sliver of glass, it is life, it's the sun, it is night, it is death, it's a trap, it's a gun. The oak when it blooms, a fox in the brush, a knot in the wood, the song of a thrush, the wood of the wind, a cliff, a fall, a scratch, a lump. It is nothing at all, it's the wind blowing free, it's the end of the slope, it's a beam, it's a void, it's a hunch, it's a hope, and the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the end of the strain, it's the joy in your heart, the foot, the ground, the flesh and the bone, the beat of the road, the slingshot stone, a fish, a flash, a silvery glow, a fight, a bet, the range of a bow, the bed of the well, the end of the line, the dismay in the face, it's a loss, it's a find, a spear, a spike, a point, a nail, a drip, a drop, the end of the tale, a truckload of bricks in the soft morning light, a shot of a gun in the dead of the night, a mile, a must, a thrust, a bump, it's a girl, it's a rhyme, it's the cold, it's the mumps, the plan of the house, the body in bed, and the car that got stuck, it's the mud, afloat, adrift, a flight, a wing, a hawk, a quail, the promise of spring, and the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the promise of life, it's the joy in your heart. Snake or stick, it is John, it is Joe. It's a thorn in your hand and a cut in your toe. A point, a grain, a bee, a bite, a blink, a buzzard, a sudden stroke of night, a pin, a needle, a sting, a pain, a snail, a riddle, a wasp, a stain, a pass in the mountains, a horse and a mule. In the distance the shelves roll through shadows of blue, and the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the promise of life in your heart, a stick, a stone, the end of the load, the rest of a stump, a lonesome road, a sliver of glass, a life, the sun, a night, a death, the end of the run, and the riverbank talks of the waters of March is the end of all strain, is the joy in your heart.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Noble Hospital, a brand new name for a Westfield institution which is improving the health of our community every day with quality and compassion. Noble Hospital and Bay State Health, better together. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental, comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient